Notice how we look up at the sky and we see nothing. Oh, but wait, all of a sudden, nothing becomes something. Notice how everything you see in the sky right now is because of how we perceive light. And light is the product of these things called photons. Photons are seen to be beyond relativistic, as they can move faster, if not as fast, as the speed of light. And guess what? The human and raccoon eye can perceive light at the speed of light. Therefore, one could say that humans and raccoons are beyond relativistic. Therefore, we are doing things at the speed of light just by looking around. Now, before you think I'm crazy, I need you to hear me out. Typically, the Earth spins at 1,037 miles per hour, or in other words, 1,670 kilometers per hour. As you go to the North or South Pole, this speed decreases eventually to 0. But upon entering the equators, you can actually move faster. So technically speaking, we are moving at thousands of miles an hour just by standing still. So we are moving faster than the Fairy Delta 2 just by simply standing still. However, let's dive even deeper to the very molecules that we live on. Let's talk about protons. For a proton to go from Earth to the Sun, it would take exactly 8 minutes, which is actually really freaking fast considering that none of us have done that yet. Pretty strange, right? Because I'm sure we are all itching to sit in a pool of hot lava. Sorry, did I say lava? I meant the evaporator pit. Considering how electrons are split from their atoms because of how hot it is. Because the core can do this really cool thing where it can kind of just poof plasma into existence. I believe there has already been a calculation as to how fast you could die simply by just landing on the sun. Or I should say in the sun, but it's basically the equivalent of having a nuclear bomb dropped right next to you. But anywho, let's keep talking about how we are extremely fast, we just don't know it. Let's go to a star 201.4 million light years away, and then while we are there, we are going to have a really nice telescope that's going to let us see back into Earth. What'd you say? That's impossible. Fuck you. Anywho, let's look back into this telescope, shall we? Dude, no fucking way. It's the Jurassic period! Do you want to know why we are seeing so far back in the past? See, Albert Einstein made this thing called the theory of relativity. This was a major foundation as to how we calculate things in space. For example, this funky phenomena that we're looking at right now called time dilation. And time dilation is basically just saying that time is not absolute, but rather is an influence by gravity and velocity. That is why if we look at a star that is 10 million light years away, we are only seeing what it looked like 10 million light years away. But do you want to know something even more bonkers than just that? We can locate, perceive, and see these stars from all those light years away in almost an instant. So, I know the main question is now here. What are you getting at? What I'm getting at is that humanity can solo everything in fiction. And I just wasted almost 4 minutes of your precious time. But you know, that's what we do. We steal from people. Until we meet again, dirtbag. Oh, and by the way, it would really help if you liked and subscribed. I kind of have like a family to feed, so yeah, thanks.